I know you've been open about your mental health struggles.
Sure.
I don't think there's anybody out there that doesn't have it, and I've been an advocate for trying to make mental health part of our regular curriculum, like dental health. You know, you have kids now.
Well, we grew up in a world where that was not part of the equation. They talk to you more about your teeth than they ever talk to you about your mental health. Right?
Still. And there's an incredible
I didn't know that,
stigma.
But I'm sad to hear.
Yeah, I don't think that there's somebody in place.
Well,
go ahead.
If you let me interject one thing. I was one of the only people or few people in my generation that were willing to talk about mental health in public. And I was very open about it because people would say, well, what are these songs about? What are these songs about? And I'd say, well, if you really want to know, I'll tell you. And I would tell people about my struggles. And then this thing started, which was I was using a fake mental health posture to sell records. So I was excoriated saying I was making up a childhood that didn't happen to somehow, I don't know, market myself more properly.
So in the same way, if you read my comments and stuff, people are always fucking with me as far as telling me, oh, he's good. He says he doesn't want to touch. And then he hugged that guy and he did that. And he's just trying to make a career out of giving myself kind of a headline.
Oh, I see.
But they do that. And
that's fine. But I'm just trying to understand on a personal level because I relate, and then I can give you the information you're looking for, which is what I would remind anybody that's listening is, you know, when you're in a position of success and you're living your dream, right? You know, I remember seeing you on TV. I don't know what year it was, but I remember you were everywhere at some point in my life, whether it was 82, 84, somewhere in there. It's like you were everywhere.
Right.
And you're still here, which is amazing because that shows that your talent has sustained itself.
It's landed much more times than it missed.
Today, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, than today. You're great.
So where was I going with that? I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, that's the beauty of me as a host. That's the beauty of me. I will take a story, I will take a guess with a train of thought and throw it totally away. That's what I do.
I know what I was after.
Go ahead.
Just this is a small PSA. You risk a lot when you're in a position of success in the public sphere, in the arts, by saying, oh, by the way, I'm a real human being, and oh, by the way, I sometimes struggle. You're literally asking for trouble. So it takes a lot of courage to even talk about it. Whether or not anybody believes you is not your problem or our problem. But that's what I would remind people. It's like it does come at a cost.
Though the benefits outweigh the cost. You know,
if you believe in such things, yes. I mean, but we are surrounded in this town of Hollywood land by sociopaths. How many people do you know that are very successful that are completely insane or not very nice people? It's more than one. I know that without knowing you that well.
I think the human condition is insane and not what is you know, and what is successful.
But let me sort of go at you with this way. Make up a pop star in your mind, male or female or non-gender. It doesn't matter, okay? Right. Most of those people, their success is rooted in presenting an image which is not real. It's a form of acting, and they're oftentimes rewarded for it. So to step outside that lane and say, oh, by the way, I'm a real person. Here's my family. Here's my life. Here's my up. Here's my down. That takes you out of that lane, that prefabricated lane, which in the social media area is very rewarded.
But you realize that, this is just my theory, that lane, whether you're a pop star, whether you're a musician, whether you're a comedian, whether you're an actor, we all create a character and put on a costume. And whether you're the bank manager and you're putting on a tie and you're sitting in your office, you don't know what's going on inside that person's head.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you knowingly present yourself to the public in such a false way that you would be rewarded for it with riches and fame at the cost of yourself?
At the cost of myself?
Yeah.
It depends what that cost is. Nothing comes without pain. And whether that's mental anguish, whether that's the fear of standing in front of an audience,
okay,
and feel like at any given second you can be humiliated. I have learned to be somewhat comfortable and in control of my discomfort. And there isn't a waking moment that I don't feel discomfort.
Interesting.
And I try to, you know, I had a very coddled, wonderful upbringing, like parents, very different than yours, but my own mental health was a mess. And I didn't have a friend, and I try to recapture the first time I went on stage as a dare, and I was terrified. And in that terror and in that moment, that was the only respite from all the angst and other shit that I deal with. I try to recapture that every waking moment of my life to be able to take one step forward in this moment.
Right. So you answered your question. You answered my question, which is no, you wouldn't. You see what I'm saying? You're an authentic person.
Yeah.
Play. We watch kids play. Your daughter's with us, right? We watch kids play, and we hear our kids doing funny voices. Okay, that's a natural human state to assume a state of being. A sociopath assumes whatever state of being is advantageous. That's different. That's what I'm saying. You're not a sociopath.
But doesn't everybody, even going on a date, aren't you creating an image of somebody that...
We all try to put our best foot forward.
Is it a best foot forward or is it a fake foot? You know, because your best foot is not really who you are. Whether you're a young lady who says, oh, I'm not hungry and I'm just going to chew a little piece of salad here. It's because, but you're starved. I think we all are not...
You're being too nice is what I'm saying. You're being too nice.
I know. I'm saying everybody's fucked up. I don't know that that's nice.
To answer a question you didn't ask me, I see the world more cruelly, especially in this town. I'm more cynical is what I'm trying to say.
I think in this town, the blanket is off. You can't, being in show business gives you an excuse to be an asshole, to be crazy. You could be like that. Whereas if you're in the middle of America, you're from Chicago or whatever, I think in the Midwest, if you're working in an office in a regular industry, you can't. But to be an asshole and to be a rock star, you can be.
They're not.
I also think it's kind of shifting with social media a little bit. Like people's idea of celebrity is a little bit different than it used to be even when I was growing up. And now people are enamored with the real life and authentic influencers that they see on social media. So people want authenticity. It's not really a persona that they want anymore. And if they could tell it's fake, they're not really interested. Do you see that at all?
I definitely see a shift towards that. But I also cynically see where people start pretending to be authentic. You know what I mean? They can't help themselves. It just becomes another guise. Again, I'm cynical, so I'm not trying to put that on both of you.